next week. We'll see what's the over and under on how many times I say good morning. Remember when we moved from noon to 2 to 10 to noon, I said good afternoon for like a month. You know what I mean? So we'll see how long it takes me to get back to saying good afternoon, everyone. But today it is good morning, everyone. It is Football Friday in the Doghouse. You know what I might take with me? I think what I will have to take with me to the afternoon is the single greatest piece of music ever recorded today. Yeah. That's what I'm taking with me right here, baby. Our Football Friday music will go with the Thom Abraham Show. I wonder what this means for, like, the production guys. Do they have to, like, move all the music to a different time slot and everything else? And I don't know. Got to change the lineup on the website, Facebook. What a pain in the ass. Long as I have this, though, the greatest piece of football music ever produced, that will be good. We're also going to take with us the Champy's Chicken Friday trifecta. You know that. Got the Champy's Chicken for our weekly winners. Plus, we got points towards our grand trifecta for the top handicapper in the house for the entire season. I got 3 college games for you. And a big NFL bonus this week. We'll have all of that for you. Our grand trifecta winner will be getting the VIP package, the 25th anniversary TransPerfect Music City Bowl, which, of course, will pit the Big Ten against the SEC on New Year's Eve, 11 a.m. in Nashville at the Nissan Stadium. So we'll have that for you as well. All right, to our last morning trifecta. Do you want our last morning trifecta? I will get that for you right now. Here you go. Let's just jump right into it. You got your, by God, Tennessee Vols.
Vol for life.
That's right.
I can assure you that the gap is closing.
It maybe has closed. Who knows? They get 7.5. Now, the line is 8 in most places now, but we're going to go with 7.5 because we don't want to have a tie in the game. They get 7.5 at Georgia.
They want to spread you out and still pound you.
Of course, Goldberg played for those guys, so that's kind of where that all comes from. All right, Alabama.
Roll all over their ass.
So I'm supposed to smile and say thank you.
They will be minus 13.5 at Brian Kelly in LSU.
I have a Boston, Midwestern, Louisiana accent.
That's how that comes out. I really struggled what would be the third game that I would put in here. But come on, man. It's Cadillac's debut.
Another great run by Cadillac Williams.
He and the Auburn Tigers get 12.5 at Mike Leach. And
we're pathetic. Yeah. You know, we're a bunch of pathetic front runners.
And in our bonus, we have got the Mighty Titans.
Touchdown, Derrick Henry, 72-yard gallop.
Getting 12.5 at Patrick Mahomes.
I really appreciate that Patrick price on my insurance. Being a champ has its perks.
All right, so there you go. Now you got it. Right there it is. The only way to get in is by calling the show or by hitting the text window up. You can get in that way as well. You call the show at 256-576-4977. 256-576-4977. We don't give the number out enough. We just assume, that everybody knows our phone number. They don't know our phone number. I don't even know if we have a call liner that runs during the shows. I don't even know. Do we have a call liner that runs during the shows that says call now? I don't know if we do. We need to give it out more so that people who are listening for the first time maybe or who have never called before. So I'm going to make sure that you get that number, 256-576-4977. You can text the show, 7329-TA show, 732-9 982-7469. A tremendous way to communicate with us. My Twitter feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's Twitter feed is at 97.7 ESPN. We are also on Facebook at 97.7 ESPN. You can watch the show at both of those places, or on Twitch or on YouTube at WZZN TV. I may recommend YouTube. It seems to be a more stable platform. I've tested both of them recently, and I'm kind of thinking that it's more, I think, a more stable platform. You can follow us on the Twitch. You can subscribe on the YouTube and get notifications. Go to 977ESPN.com, get links to all of that. Get our apps, both the Zone app and the Blitz app. And you can find the links to Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4 online and on app. So you can get all of our alternate streaming channels for more great programming. Because tonight, it's playoff time in North Alabama. Buckhorn going to Hartselle to play the undefeated Tigers, number 5 in the state. Grizz and I will be on that game, on the air, and on primary feed. If Grizz remembers to bring the bag with the equipment in it. He needs to remember to bring the bag with the equipment in it. He needs not to forget. Sometimes he gets too busy and he forgets stuff. He needs to remember this stuff. No bag, no game. We'll be out there with headphones, not attached to anything, because I will be bringing the headsets. The little bag that Steve will set up. The little bag, not that big, huge, the little bag. All we need is the little bag with the little Comrex, and that's all we need. Steve knows what to do. Trust in Steve. Madison Academy is hosting Phil Campbell in the opening round of the 3A playoffs with Moulton and Glenn Laird on that game on Zone 2. Randolph, who beat Madison Academy earlier this year, they will open their 4A playoffs against 7-3 Rogers with Austin Coletti and Drew DeArmond on Zone 3. As always, the Woody Anderson Ford North Alabama Scoreboard Show with Scott Tyson will begin on the Blitz at 8:30 and then move over to the air after the Buckhorn game. And Captain Cool will be in studio. The Bandy Man will be in studio. So it's a cast of 3. They will all be in there. Who will not be in studio will be Grizz, because Grizz will be with me. I hope he brings the bag. It's all about bringing the bag. We'll get out of there early if he doesn't bring the bag. All right, we got this wide open first hour for you to get in and make your picks. And tell me why you think the games will go the way they're going to go. At the top of the 11, Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports with picks on all of our games and more. He's been hot as a pistol as of late on the show. Then Alan Bell, CBS Sportsline, is back with his thoughts on the weekend and last night's game in Houston, where the Eagles moved to a gaudy 8-0 against a scrappy Texans team that is now 1-6-1 under Lovie Smith. Do you think Lovie Smith will get a second year if they win 1 or 2 games? I mean, it seemed like he was like a throw-in coach. It's like, yeah, we fired our coach. Oh, we got to have a coach. You think? I don't know. But they were kind of scrappy last night. I mean, that game was tied at the half. And then the Eagles got a pick to set up a score and pull away late. I mean, it was a 4-point game going into the fourth quarter. And the Eagles tacked on a Jalen Hurts touchdown and then a Jalen Hurts 2-point conversion. Jalen Hurts giving Team 10 24 points last night in her fantasy game against John Boy Dewey Magoo. She's going to hammer him. He's 1-7. She's 7-1. She's going to destroy him. She also had Miles Sanders, who gave her 15 or 16 points as a running back, filling in because, of people on the buys. The Eagles are the first team to post a positive turnover differential. The most important stat in football, turnover differential. The Eagles are the first team to post a positive turnover differential in each of their first 8 games since the 1972 Steelers. 50 years ago. Now, having said that, why do I get the feeling, why do I get the same vibe with this Eagles team as I got with the Steelers a couple of years ago? Remember when they opened the season 11-0? And I was like, you're 11-0. And it was, something's not right. And then they flamed out down the stretch and got hammered in the first round of the playoffs. I just can't fully buy in. I hate that, but I can't. I love Sirianni, Nick Sirianni, the head coach. I love Jalen Hurts. I love Devontae Smith. I love A.J. Brown. I love Miles Sanders. I mean, it's a fun team to watch. Can't buy in. Having a hard time buying it. All right, over there in that little glass room with the slanted ceiling, playing the platters that matter and the stacks of wax and answering the phones, living large and in charge, and getting ready to broadcast a game tonight with the host, it's DJ Sidekick Grizz.
In the blue hell are you?
I'm the producer of the show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put the thing together out of stick and polish.
Brilliant!
I've got $100 smoking in my billfold. I know I ought to save it, but it's burning a hole. Right through my pocket and into my skin. Come Monday morning, I'll be broke again. It's finally Friday, I'm free again. I got my motor running for a wild weekend. It's finally Friday, I'm out of control. Forget the working blues and let the good times roll.
Someone call someone because there's a cleanup on aisle 3 as a man is down.
Yeah.
It's like taking poison.
Rat poison.
Like rat poison.
Rat poison.
It's not St. Patty's Day, so that's a different day.
Different day altogether. It's not St. Patty's Day. Only one. So I did great. All right, are you more excited about the game tonight or about doing the game with me?
Oh, both. I'm very excited. I'm excited to see some. This is the first time I've ever actually gotten to witness a little of high school playoff, action.
Yeah? Well,
seriously.
You're a Grissom fan,
Yeah. Well, not just that, but working the job, many nights being here, doing Madison Academy, and you got a whole list of people that are going to be doing what I did by myself, for quite a few years, doing the scoreboard show with Scott Tyson and stuff like that. So it's always good to be able to get out and do a little game. So it was a little fun to be able to get on last week as well.
Have you ever done color on a broadcast before?
Yeah, I did it with Steve a couple times, and I got to.
Did you?
Yeah, and I actually got to do a couple Havoc games too. But I gotta know more hockey lingo to do hockey.
No, you did color on hockey. You didn't do play-by-play.
Well, yeah, no, I did color. Yeah, I never did play-by-play ever. Yeah, no.
Any kind of play-by-play.
I can do some play-by-play. I'm very charismatic. I can get into it.
Did Steve coach you up on the formatics? See, the key is the formatics of the thing. Did he coach you up when you were doing color? Because we haven't even talked about this tonight, and you might be talking like you have a hard time getting in and out. You might talk right.
Just put your hand up.
Plays.
I'm done. Just put your hand up. I'll be done. I'm used to someone just cueing me and I'm good to go.
Here's the cue with me as a play-by-play.
I just don't look at you on Zoom. That's harder.
It sucks now because of the no huddle offenses and the fast offense. It's very difficult to do color, now. Yeah. But here's the two things I always tell my color guys. All right, my analysts. These are the two things that I want. One, I have to watch the ball. All right, I have to watch the ball. So I'm watching the ball. What I really like an analyst to do to watch the line of scrimmage. Because what I want to know from the analyst, I want him to be able to say, well, boy, they did a great job double teaming at the point of attack on that play. Or they shed the block and got, you know what I mean? So the things that I'm not necessarily seeing and that the listener that adds to the
stuff that we normally don't care about because offensive linemen don't matter.
Well, no, they do, though. That's the thing. And that's the I'm already telling that. You don't need to tell them that that was a nice run for 6 yards because I just told them it was a nice run for 6 yards.
Yeah.
What I think what we want to hear is Sale did a great job on his man and took him all the way to the sideline or something like that. Add to it the thing that you don't get into color. You don't just parrot the play-by-play man. You're giving some sort of an analysis quickly of what it is. Item 2, okay? Number 2, and this is good for everybody to hear that does this kind of stuff, or that because there is a rhythm and a flow to the way play-by-play works with color if you're doing it right. If you're trying to do it right. 2, I always wanted as a play-by-play guy, I want it back when they're at the line of scrimmage. So you got it from the time I say that brings up second and to the time when they're at the line of scrimmage, because I need to be able to say they got 2 receivers to each side, the tailback is in it, blah, 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 blah. You can't talk until the ball snaps. All right? You talk until they're at the line of scrimmage.
Correct.
But that's your cue. So I'm not going to put my hand up or anything else.
Yeah.
Get in, get out.
No, you're right.
That's
I
your
understand.
cue.
Yeah.
And now here's the third thing, and this is a subtle thing. This adds to the quality of the broadcast. I saw the flag. 90% of the time, I saw the flag. Good for Maddox in doing play-by-play on radio and even TV. TV is a little different because the people saw the flag too.
Yeah.
But good for Maddox is the play-by-play guy is describing the play, and then at the end of it, and you might point but not say anything. You might point that there's a flag or whatever. And then at the end of it, then I say, but there's a flag down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the worst thing, what sounds terrible, is, he's back to pass. He rolls to his right. He has a man open downfield. And as I'm saying that, the play-by-play guy, there's a flag down. Oh, shut up. All right? It's good. Holding. Oh, there's going to be holding. Right in the middle of the play. Yes, I saw that. Okay. He hits a man downfield.
Yeah.
It's a pickup of 32 yards down inside the 10-yard line. But there's a flag down in the backfield. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's and then, Tom, it was the left tackle. He grabbed the guy and tackled him to the ground. You know what I mean? Because you're watching the line of scrimmage.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's the thing. You never, as a color guy, you never narc out the fact that there's a flag down before the play is over. Okay? So there you go.
Yep. I got you.
Those 3 rules in play-by-play and color guys work great together. If you follow those 3 basic rules of play-by-play and color. So that's always a good thing. Plus, now here's another little secret. I love pulling the curtain back for the peeps. Okay, I love just pulling the curtain back. In the pregame, there'll be 2 or 3 things that we talk about in the pregame. I have sketched that out. All right, there is literally there's an idea of what we're going to talk about in the pregame. I will send you later this afternoon. You will see the open to the show, to the game tonight, and the 2 or 3 things that we're going to be talking about, so that you can kind of prepare a little bit in your mind. Okay, this is whatever, because you don't know if I just hit you with right then and there.
Yeah.
This is whatever. Buckhorn's first playoff game in 3 years, and blah blah blah, and then you don't even know what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But if I prepare you for it, then you could do a little bit of research, and you'd be ready to talk about it a little bit.
I've been doing some stuff the last couple days. I've been kind of testing myself, kind of making sure that I can at least throw out a name or 2 out there. Especially,
now,
I gotta be good about it, especially on the home side.
And I know that this is high school football.
Yeah.
And people have said, but look, I mean, I did the arena stuff, AF2 and AFL, and I did college stuff for a long time. And I did the Birmingham Iron as long as they lasted. I put the same effort in to a high school game. You listen to a lot of high school games in a lot of places, and it's just verbal diarrhea. They have a roster. They look up the guy. They say number 42 did. That's the other thing. We don't talk about numbers. It's radio. You know what I mean? Well, number 42 did a good job, but number 34, he came over with him too. We don't. Who the hell knows who number 42 and number 34 is?
Yeah.
That's not the way we talk on a radio broadcast.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys just kind of, it sounds like what I call verbal diarrhea. And it's country bumpkin radio for a high school game that's being listened to by 9 people. Our game is on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Our game is heard from Scottsboro, Gunnersville, all the way over to the lake.
Over 700,000 listeners.
Yeah, all the way clean past Decatur, north into Tennessee, south down to Coleman. I mean, this is a big area.
Yeah, Fayetteville to Coleman.
Right. So we don't half-ass it.
Yeah.
We try and do it I put the same. Personally, I put the same effort. I way over prepared. There'll be stuff on my sheets tonight that you'll see that I'll never mention during the broadcast. But I believe in making the effort, regardless too of what you're getting paid. You know what I mean? I did games where I got 10 times as much, 10 times as much as I get paid to do these games, 10 times as much, and I put the same effort into these games as I do for the 10 times as much. So we'll have fun tonight, though.
Oh, it'll be fun. It'll be a blast. Yeah, no, go Bucks.
It'll be a rip.
We're all Bucks tonight.
Look, it's better than being in the studio.
Yeah.
For the Woody Anderson Ford North Alabama scoreboard show, and not taking away from that, but Captain Cool can handle that. He'll do a good job.
Hope to hear a lot of North Alabama coaches tonight for sure.
Yeah, and we'll be listening to that on the way back. Now, did we decide? Am I picking you up or not? I'm going to go the other way.
I can drive. It's fine.
From where you are?
Yeah, it's probably easier anyway.
Well, just don't get yourself hung up in the traffic on 565.
I live on the south side, so I could probably go 36. Hopefully there's not construction still going on 36, because before you get to 65 going to 36, there was construction going on for a long time, so you had to go through Somerville. So
it's 16 minutes
I haven't been
longer
in 36
for me.
in a while, so
16 minutes longer for me to run 64 all the way along the border and then jump on 65 down by Pulaski and come straight down 65. It's 16 minutes longer right now, but when there's traffic tonight, it'll be.
Is it not easier for you to go down the Parkway and then 36? I mean, if there's still construction on 36.
No, that would be even longer.
It'd be longer?
That would be even longer.
You come off
then
Winchester.
When I come back at 10 o'clock at night, then I'll just come 565 because there'll be no traffic.
Oh, yeah. Easy sailing.
Let me get Wolverine Dan in here. Get a first round of picks in. Wolverine Dan, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, I beat the traffic on 53 and drove to beautiful Ardmore, Tennessee, the home of the Volunteers, to get my $1.7 billion tickets in my freaking hand.
Is that the closest spot for you to get to a store in Tennessee to get your lottery ticket?
It was a wonderful drive, Tom. I'm driving Betty White, my super turbo beetle bug, baby.
Oh, Betty White. Betty White's dead. Maybe you should give it a live name.
No.
Why didn't you take the convertible?
This car is something else.
Why didn't you take the convertible?
The Fender speakers. What?
Why didn't you take the convertible? It's beautiful out.
No. We have the grandbaby over the week here. We gotta take her in a safe car, okay?
Oh, you drove the grandbaby to the lottery. Okay.
They've got airbags.
I didn't realize you drove the grandbaby to the lottery, would you?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. All right, so here we go. A couple things. Last night, it was epic. The Detroit Red Wings 25-year anniversary from back-to-back, which you've never done. Yeah. 97, 98, my man. And the only sad thing is Ovechkin tied Gordie Howe for the home goals scored in his history. So, and he's creeping up on Gordie because Gordie's got a little over 800 goals. He's right about there. So I'm not happy about that. But it was good to see Shanahan, Maltby, the whole crew, all right? 25-year anniversary, and they did a number on them, 3-1 on the Capitals. I love it. And then, not to mention...
What happened to them, though? I thought they were going to be good, and then all of a sudden they went back in the crapper.
Good, Tom.
Oh, okay.
Tom, it's just the start, Tom. You'll be eating... Hey, I'll be eating your lunch in the next couple of years. You watch. All right? It's Stevie Eiserman. Everywhere he goes, it's gold, okay? The Midas touch. Now, let me say this. Let's talk about my Minnesota Vikings picking up, the big tight end from the Lions, Tennessee Volunteer player, Hawkinson. The kid's a stud. And the Vikings had their tight end wasn't doing too well. The numbers weren't good. He picked up a quality player.
He's hurt.
So
Irv is hurt.
6-1 now. We'll be 7-1 after Sunday, and I'm not worried about the Eagles. All I worry about is having enough gas to go to Biloxi to get my $4,000.
Your Vikings, huh? Man, it sounds weird hearing you say your Vikings.
Hey, Tom,
weird.
It's $4,000.
I know.
Say the same thing.
But they got to win it all. I would never pick anybody else in my division. I would never put money on the Steelers, the Ravens, or the Bengals to win it all. Never in my division would I do that. Never.
Hey, in honor of Frank Tarkington, hey, and George Foreman, not the boxer, all right, hey, they're going to do it, Tom. It is what it is. So those are awesome takes. I should be your color guy on the football field there. Chris,
By the way, it was his name was.
baby.
By the way, his name is Chuck Foreman. He's a friend of mine. We played golf 2 or 3 times back in the day. It's Chuck Foreman, not George Foreman, and his son is Jay Foreman. I played with Chuck and Jay together, and Jay told me a Scott Frost story that I do not tell on the air. I've told people off the air, but I do not tell that story on the air about Jay Frost or about Scott Frost when he was the quarterback at Nebraska, and Jay was the captain of the defense, and they lost that game to Arizona State. In a big upset that somebody might have gotten.
I got one quick take, okay? Quick take. All right, and that is this. It's less than a week away for the most important day of everybody's life right now, okay? All right? Look at your investments. Look, and as a matter of fact, take a statement with you and put it right next to the lever and see what your statement looks like, and you know which lever to pull, right, Tom?
Yeah, the one that doesn't have me paying. Let me tell you something. I needed for the barn project, I needed a 10-foot length of 2-inch PVC pipe, to run some sleeves underneath the wall of the thing. It cost $30 for one stick of pipe. It was $3 a foot. I got that and some fittings. It was $120 some odd dollars. Some other fittings and stuff. The guy told me 2 years ago that it was 50 cents a foot, and now it's $3 a foot. Then I stopped at the Jersey Mike's, which this is unsolicited. Best sub of all subs is Jersey Mike's. I'm going to tell you that right now. I love subs. The best sub of all subs is Jersey Mike's subs, okay? So I stop at Jersey Mike's. They got the large and they got the medium, right? A large sub at Jersey Mike's is $15. $15. I'm like, what in God's name is going on here? So, I know about inflation, and I know about the fact that my 401k is down and my stocks are down.
And a Big Mac's like $12.
And Ginger gets embarrassed when I go to Jersey Mike's. I'm with you, my man. I like him. She gets embarrassed because I'm not going in there with you. I go, why is that? She says, you embarrass me. I go, what do I do? He said, you stand over the guy that puts the stuff on the sub, and you tell him to load it up so you can't even push the sub down to flatten it out. You got to sit on it. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking
about. Put a little sriracha sauce on it.
You get those danger witches.
All right, give me your picks.
Right.
All right, let's get your picks in here. All right, wait a minute. Let me bring the sheet up again. Big dog. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. That's beat the big dog. Hang on. Friday trifecta. Okay, here we go. Tennessee gets 7.5 at Georgia.
I'm going to take Tennessee because it's going to be lousy weather.
I can assure you that the gap is closing.
Well, I didn't even see that. Is it going to be bad weather in Athens? I know it's 70% chance of rain here tomorrow because I got jobs to do tomorrow morning, work to knock out, and I noticed it was 70% chance of rain. All right, Bama is minus 13.5 at LSU.
They're at it. Let's say late at night, they're all drunk in there, too. And it's going to be bad weather. Yeah, I got to take the Raging Cajun. Bad weather, drinking? Oh, yeah.
I have a Boston, Midwestern, Louisiana accent.
Auburn gets 12.5 at State, also a night game.
God, that's a hard one. You know what? I'm doing it for you people in Auburn. I'll take Auburn, but I'm not happy about it.
Another great run by Cadillac Williams.
Cadillac's debut. I hope he does great. And the Titans get 12.5 at Kansas City.
Oh, that's a lot of points for a pro team, Tom.
It is. Especially a pro team that's 5-2.
Yeah, Tannehill's he playing?
We do not know yet. That's the rub. We do not know for sure if Tannehill's playing.
But you know what? In honor of me just going through Tennessee, that's going to make me a billionaire. I'll take the Titans.
Touchdown, Derrick Henry, 72-yard gallop.
You gonna break me off a little something if you win $1 billion, $1 million?
Tom, not a
take care of
problem. As long as you stay overnight at my place, hang out, kick my ass in Euclid, and then no problem. Hey, listen,
just talking
put this phone call in the archives, baby, because it was rolling.
Do you want me to do rack 'em? Good job by you, Wolverine. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Tannehill has returned to practice, but they don't know if he's going to play or not.
Yeah, we don't know if he's going to play. We just don't know. All right, we're going to break in here. When we come back, Brandon is up next. You can fall in behind him if you want. Your phone number is 256-576-4977 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Take it to the house this football season with the Alabama Manufactured Housing Association. If Alabama or Auburn returns their first received kickoff in the second half or a touchdown at a home SEC game, one lucky fan will win a $75,000 down payment towards the purchase of a manufactured home from an authorized AMHA dealer. Don't miss your chance to take it to the house this season and win a beautiful manufactured home. Register to win today at auburntigers.com/take-it-to-the-house or rolltide.com/take-it-to-the-house. Certain terms and conditions may apply. To learn more, visit alamha.org.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
Have you been to an Iron Bowl? Even if you haven't experienced the ultimate Iron Bowl tailgate experience, and it could be yours. How? Head to Baumhauer's Victory Grill every week to sign up to win. We'll also draw weekly winners that will win a lunch bunch from Baumhauer's Victory Grill. So what should you do? Go to Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Sign up for the ultimate Iron Bowl tailgate experience. Listen to The Drive each Thursday, and Wes and Steve will draw a weekly winner. The ultimate Iron Bowl tailgate experience, presented by Baumhauer's Victory Grill.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. Trust our team of professional, clean, and friendly electricians. We'll get it done right and get it done safely.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Independently owned and operated, licensed in the respective state or county.
Welcome back. Stan McDonald from the Stanton Law Firm. I had lunch with Lewis just recently and with a client of ours, a mutual client, and great to hear all the good things going on at the Stanton Law Firm.
Thank you, Wes. The Stanton Law Firm, as you know, we've discussed before, we're dirt lawyers. We do a lot of real estate, litigation and closing. And yes, my son Lewis McDonald enjoyed meeting you a couple of weeks ago, and a couple of your friends. He is, as you know, he's opened up a commercial closing division. So he's really helping a lot of people who are trying to close, buy, or sell on their commercial property. And he can't be in this community doing business without knowing Wes neighbors.
I don't know about that, but it sure was getting to meet another McDonald and talking a little bit about his grandfather, Coach Dye, and right, the different things. It was a lot of fun.
Well, your listeners are really going to enjoy meeting Lewis and you in this community. And like I said, at Jacob Title or the Stanton Law Firm, we close business. We close some good commercial closings, residential closings. We appreciate being part of your show.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-306-8158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-306-8158. That's 800-306-8158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-306-8158. Again, 800-306-8158.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
Local sports is covered right here.
Well, appreciate what you guys do for sports, but also for high school sports and taking time to talk to us. That means a lot, and appreciate what you guys do, and appreciate you having us on.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Now, welcome back on a Football Friday. We do have a Friday trifecta for you. You want in right now, you can get in right now. 256-576-4977. We'll get you in. This segment of the show is brought to you by the Orthopedic Center. For all your injury needs, it's the Orthopedic Center, not just surgical injury needs. Maybe you're just sore in your shoulder and it's not right, and they'll hook you up with the physical therapy that you need at the Orthopedic Center to get you right. If you do need surgery, they got the best surgeons around anywhere. And they've got specialists. It's not like the same guy that does, a neck deal is the same guy that does a foot deal. They got foot guy, and they got hand guy, and they got arm guy, and they got shoulder guy, and they got knee guy, and the hip guy. And so now hip guy might be knee guy too, and shoulder guy, but they're you know what I'm saying? They get specialists, and they're really good, and they do a tremendous job. And they're look, they take care of just about every school in North Alabama. They take care of the Huntsville Havoc, which are underway now. Havoc win last night, Chris. Another win last night for the Havoc. Yeah, another win last night. They're not playing tonight though, are they? They're not home tonight. They were home last night, not home tonight. They're smart. They don't go up against high school football in the playoffs. They take care of the Huntsville Havoc. Keep them on the ice. They take care of Alabama A&M and much, much more. So we really appreciate everything that TOC has done. And they have been supporters of this show right here, this Tom Abraham show. These guys have been supporters of this show for, I'm going to say, about 15 years. All right? So that's how loyal they are. So I'm loyal to them. They're loyal to me. All right. Brandon is up next. Brandon, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I can hear you now. It got really quiet for a second. I didn't know if Grizz was having mute button malfunctions again. That's the inside joke.
Uh-oh. Grizz, did you have us muted? No? Grizz just look. He's got a quizzical look on his face.
No.
All right.
He did his podcast last night, and it.
Yeah. No, he's know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I did an entire 30 minutes of talking, and it was muted.
Oh, it's a good job by you. At least you didn't have any negative feedback.
Oh, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I played it back and I was like, no, I'm sad now.
Yeah. So what's up, Brandon?
Well, I just got faked out. I tried to pull through a Whataburger over here near Kennesaw State Stadium that is not quite open yet.
Oh.
And I heard a guy screaming. He's like, "Would you please put the cones back out?" He's like, "They just keep coming."
I know that exact spot. I know exactly where you're at. Where that Whataburger is going to be.
Right over here next to the Baskin-Robbins Dunkin' Donuts.
Yep.
Across from the Cracker Barrel. I went in there and I thought, all right, I hit this Whataburger up. And there are people steady walking to the door. The doors are locked. They're trying to figure out what's going on. And
maybe an opening soon sign would be helpful.
Yeah, it would really be good. Apparently they had cones put out, and somebody relieved them of their cones.
Oh, okay.
So they wanted them more than they did. There's probably at a fraternity house down the street somewhere.
Yeah, you find a good traffic cone, man.
Yeah, nothing like a good traffic cone. I have 2 of them in my yard. I used to own hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of traffic cones back when I was a contractor. All right, you want to get in on this deal or what?
I do.
All right, the Tennessee Volunteers get 7.5 at your Georgia Bulldogs.
I'm going to take Tennessee to cover that 7. I think that if they score first, they're going to go up and stay up.
Vol for life.
Bama is minus 13.5 at LSU.
Coming off a bye week, I'll take Bama to cover that.
Roll all over their ass.
Auburn gets 12.5 at State in Cadillac Williams' debut as the interim head coach.
Oh, I got Mississippi State on that all day.
We're pathetic. We're a bunch of pathetic front runners.
And Tennessee Titans in our bonus get 12.5 at KC.
God, that's a big number for the NFL. I don't remember the last time I saw a number that big in the NFL. I say Titans don't cover on that one. That's a big spread to cover.
They're getting 12.5.
Oh, excuse me, they're getting 12.5. Oh,
it's at Kansas City. The Titans get 12.5 at Kansas. By the way, division leaders, both teams. I think both are 5-2.
I'm still going to take Kansas City in that one.
All right.
I really appreciate that Patrick Price on my insurance. Being a champ has its perks.
All right, we got you in.
Hey, and these people who want to get on nobody for running his car down the side of the wall the other day, they're just mad they didn't think of it first.
I don't think many people are mad. I think everybody's amazed by it. I wonder, will we see it again now? I mean, that's going to be the thing. It's like even Junior said, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is like, I don't know. And I'm like, what? Your daddy would have done that. I mean, this is going to have a name like the wall ride or something because we got the pass in the grass. We got the spin and win when Danny Sullivan did that. So we got to call this something. It's going to be. It looked fake when you saw the video. It looked sped up, but I don't know. It has to have a name, and I don't know if we'll ever see it again. I mean, now is everybody going to try and do this?
Well, see, I tried something similar when I was in the Air Force. We had the little rotundas like at the Alabama Stadium, and we would race razor scooters down it. Well, I got this bright idea to put a rollerblade on and put my foot up on the wall and try to do that. It did not end very well.
No.
The hell, the next time around, I would tell them, hey, put me 2 tires where the passenger side door is and a shaft through the middle of it, and I'll just draft the wall down through here.
There you go.
So, yeah, but you don't want to get a hyperextended knee and a twisted ankle because you thought you could be smart and grind the wall with a rollerblade on a roller scooter and end up going off of it face first and look in the mirror and you all of a sudden realize, oh, I look like the guy from Hellraiser.
Yes. Yeah, would not be a good look for you. All right, good job by you, man. Appreciate it. Have a great weekend. Well time. Grumpy is up next. Grumpy, welcome in. How are you?
Wow, man. That's pretty good.
I expected that.
My God. Okay. I'm ready.
Well, the Vols Tennessee gets 7.5 at Georgia.
Georgia.
Oh, Georgia! And I thought for sure you were going to take Tennessee. Bama minus 13.5 at LSU.
Alabama.
Roll all over their ass.
Auburn gets 12.5 in Cadillac Williams' debut.
Auburn.
Another great run by Cadillac Williams.
Does he have any chance of earning the job? Like, would you if he were to win this game and win, maybe he goes 3-1. What if he were to win this game, Texas A&M, Western Kentucky, and plays tough against Alabama and goes 3-0 or 3-1?
We do love him. I mean, he is
great recruiter.
We do a golden child. We love him, but I don't think he's got. I mean, it depends. It's like some other people are saying Auburn job's going to go to somebody that we're not even talking about. Probably, everybody's Lane Kiffin. I think Lane Kiffin would be great, but there's other things going on that a lot of us aren't privy to, like me. But
Jeff Grimes, everybody's talking about Jeff Grimes. That would be, I think, a mistake. Jeff Grimes, according to Vegas, is the favorite. I mean, that would be a mistake. I think that would be a mistake.
I don't even know who that is.
He was your offensive. He was your offensive line coach a few years ago under Gus. And he's the offensive line coach at where is he, Chris? Jeff Grimes. He's the offensive line coach someplace right now.
Now, if you mount casters on the right side of those cars and put wheels on the car sides, you got something.
That'd be such. Oh, by the way,
then you could call it the Caster Pastor.
The Caster Pastor. That would be great. Titans, by the way, plus 12.5 in our bonus at Kansas City.
Titans. Thanks, man.
Touchdown, Derrick Henry, 72-yard gallop.
Be interesting to see if anybody else tries it. You know, like a Baylor. That's where he's at right now. He's at Baylor. He's the offensive line coach at Baylor. Or is he offensive coordinator?
Offensive coordinator and tight end coach.
He's the offensive coordinator and tight end coach at Baylor. You know, I mean, I don't know. But he's the number one guy, number one candidate. Is that Grumpy gone? Grumpy is emphatic.
Yeah, he said bye after he picked the Titans.
Oh. He's emphatic about getting in and out on a Friday. He knows the way it works. It's like, I got to get in and out. Dale is up next. Dale, welcome in. How are you?
Doing good. A little bit sad after I heard the news yesterday.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do. I just want to call my boss and let me start taking lunch at 12 now.
Just back that lunch up a little bit and see if you can take your lunch at 12 now. You know, so.
Or they have to figure out how to listen to you after work or something like that.
Well, that's easy. I mean, the show is.
Yeah, I know.
Get the app. I mean, the show is right there. You can listen to it anytime you want. I mean, you can listen to the show at 2. You know, literally within 10 minutes at a time. Grizz, how long does it take for the show to get put up? After
it takes about 25 minutes.
So about by 2:30, you'll be able to listen to the show anytime you want. So
I got you. All right, let me get in on the trifecta so everybody else can get in.
Tennessee gets 7.5 at Georgia.
I'm taking Tennessee.
Vol for life.
Bama minus 13.5 at LSU.
LSU.
I have a Boston, Midwestern, Louisiana accent.
Auburn gets 12.5 at State.
I'm done for doing it, but I got to take my Tigers. I got to stick with them. I think
another great run by Cadillac Williams.
And the Titans get 12.5 at Kansas City.
I'm taking Kansas City. I know everybody's saying that's a big line, and it is, but Kansas City beats them 31-10. I mean, you know, something like that could happen, especially if Tannehill don't play.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that Patrick Price on my insurance. Being a champ has its perks.
The Titans beat them last year in the regular season, but that was at.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. All right, man. Good.
But
yeah,
I appreciate it. I'll talk to y'all
all
later.
Right. Good job by you. Can I get Keith in quick, Grizz?
Yeah, that's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, we'll be
right,
fine.
Let me get Keith in quick. Keith, the Michigan fan. Keith, what do you got?
Yep. Yeah, I'm ready to do my picks.
All right. Vols get 7.5.
I'm taking Tennessee, 7.5 points.
Vol for life.
That's a lot. Decent amount of points. Bama minus 13.5.
You know I hate Bama, so give me whoever they plan against.
I have a Boston, Midwestern, Louisiana accent.
You got LSU. Auburn gets 12.5 at Mississippi State.
I'm going to take the points.
Another great run by Cadillac Williams.
I hope he does well.
I like to see Auburn get Deion Sanders, but the way y'all talk, everybody's talking about it's going to be somebody else.
I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. I don't know if he's ready. I don't know. I'd like to see Cadillac Williams do something. You know, it'd be interesting to see what he does.
Well, Deion would bring in, if he can get the 5-star to come to Jackson State,
right?
You can imagine what he'd do with Auburn.
Deion's an amazing recruiter, although Cadillac is a great recruiter too, but Deion's an amazing recruiter. The thing Deion would have to do is he'd have to really surround himself with a couple of great coordinators. You know, you'd have to get because he's a great head of the program. He's a great recruiter, but he'd have to get himself, motivator. He would need to have some real solid, coordinators. Titans, Titans are plus 12.5.
Wow. Titans.
Touchdown, Derrick Henry, 72-yard gallop.
All right, we got you in, Keith.
Thanks.
That's it. All right, it's good to bring you in here. We'll come back and set you up for a busy hour number 2 right here on the Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey Wes, our company Fleming Roofing and Restoration specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a 5th generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough, we can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10 plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey Wes, we show up.
Hey there, folks. Bob Baumhauer here. We're celebrating 40 legendary years here at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. And to kick this off, we're coming in hot with our all-new Alabama Hot Chicken. Fresh southern fried chicken breast smothered in a blend of tangy, immune-boosting herbs and spices with a spicy finish. Served up with a side of homemade smoked Gouda cheese grits, Miss Mary southern greens, and garlic bread. And there's plenty more where that came from. Stop in today and celebrate with us. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, here letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama A&M University football. Stop into University Kia today and shop our large selection of new Kias, including the all-new Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the stylish new K5, and sporty new Seltos. Visit universitykia.com and view all our great offers and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia today, because we want to see ya in the Kia. Go Bulldogs!
Saving at the Home Depot means you can do more for less. Like upgrading your kitchen with a top-rated Samsung kitchen suite, a smart range with air fry, a smart cooling system refrigerator, and a dishwasher with advanced quiet cycles. And with free delivery, the savings come to you. Shop in-store, online, or in the Home Depot app. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. U.S. only while supplies last. Valid 1/6 through 1/26/2022. Free delivery on orders of $396 or more.
Ladies and gentlemen, whether you want to believe it or not, the holidays are upon us. It is time to start thinking about the important things like, hey, what's on the menu this year? It is time to pre-order your honey glazed ham or turkey from Apple Lane. Let's get honey glazed for the holidays and make the holidays even sweeter with our award-winning banana pudding.
That's right.
Let us help make this year's holiday just so much easier. Apple Lane, come see us in Decatur, Alabama on the Beltline.
From the Nick Saban Show.
We talk about finishing. You know, that's like the number one word.
To Alabama football.
Touchdown, Alabama!
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Welcome back, Tom Abraham Show. All right, coming up at the top of the 11 o'clock hour, I'm going to screw this up. I'm going to screw it up next week. I'm going to be saying coming up at the bottom of the 10 or coming up at the top of the 11. And when we move to noon to 2, we were moving to noon to 2. I'm sorry, Dal, but you can catch it on the app almost immediately after the show. I'm sorry to the other guy. There was one other guy that said the same thing. I listened to it during my lunch hour at 10 o'clock hour. I'm sorry. But there are many, many, many more people that are fired up about the move to noon to 2. And I would suggest that you talk to your bosses and tell them you want to take your lunch at a different time.
More businesses should let you listen to the radio at a reasonable volume.
That's right.
It's messed up.
Especially this show. I'm a big fan of this show. Personally. Not always. I mean, sometimes I think this show sucks. But sometimes I'm a big fan of this show.
True.
Yeah. Lee Sterling coming up, ParamountSports.com. He's next, right here on the Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN. The Zone.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Kyrie Irving will not be on the floor when the Nets visit the Wizards tonight. He'll be serving the first of what will be at least a 5-game suspension handed down by the team to its star point guard. The suspension handed down hours after Irving refused to issue the apology NBA Commissioner Adam Silver had been looking for posting a link to an anti-Semitic work on his Twitter feed. Irving later last night posted on social media saying in part, quote, "To all Jewish families and communities that are hurt and affected by my posts, I am deeply sorry to have caused you pain, and I apologize," end quote. Irving will be meeting in person with Silver within the next week. The World Series heads back to Houston. The Astros, courtesy of a 3-2 victory in Game 5, with a chance to close out the Phillies and claim their second title in 6 seasons in Game 6 tomorrow night, 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Follow the Tide right here. Hi, this is Chris Stewart of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Your home of all things Bama is 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Roll Tide.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
College football heads into the month of November with several marquee matchups in Week 10. The new Heisman odds have Hendon Hooker of number 1 Tennessee, the -115 favorite, C.J. Stroud of Ohio State +200, then a big drop to Blake Corum of Michigan and Caleb Williams of USC, each tied at +1400. The World Series headed back to Houston for Game 6 on Saturday night. The latest MVP odds show Alex Bregman the favorite at +250, Bryce Harper at +400, then all Astros, Kyle Tucker at +450, Jeremy Pena and Jose Altuve at +1400. Red Hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% on any best bet package with the promo code ACTION75. That's ACTION75 at experts.winnersandwiners.com.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A fantastic Friday across the Tennessee Valley. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s. It'll be a fantastic evening for Friday night football. Maybe a slight increase in the cloud cover across the area, but other than that, a fantastic evening. Temperatures hanging out in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Eventually falling into the low 60s through the later part of the overnight and then early into your Saturday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Live local shows.
Hello.
Live local play-by-play.
Oh, now's a good time to check the radio.
Plus, the power of ESPN Radio. It's all right here. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho. Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Elle McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? And somebody responds. Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome back. Hour number 2 of the Thom Abraham Show on a Football Friday in the Doghouse. Our last morning show. And until I move again, who knows? I don't like to stay in one time slot too long because that might build up too big an audience. You know what I mean? I want to keep moving, so it makes it difficult for people to. Yes, I want to make it. I want to move so that it's so people it's hard to find a show. You know what I mean? I mean that's the way I feel like that. It's good. I've done morning drive, mid morning, lunchtime, afternoon drive. Okay, I don't do nights. Forget about it. I'm not doing nights. So I try to keep moving the show around it. Once we start building a really good audience, and then we move it to a different time slot so that new people can find it. You see. That makes no sense whatsoever. But, no, this does make sense. This move does make sense. So beginning next week, we're going back to where we were, year and a half, 2 years ago? We're going back to noon to 2. Chuck Oliver stopped moving his show. I can stop moving my show. All right. This segment brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford. For all your service needs, it's Woody Anderson Ford. Doesn't matter what you drive, Woody Anderson Ford will take care of you. Plus, Woody Anderson Ford with the Certified Gold pre-owned vehicles. They are tremendous. There's an F-150 in the Big Dog's driveway. There is a ragtop Mustang out there as well that my wife will not let me drive, but it is out there as well. I get to ride in the passenger seat. So all that coming from Woody Anderson Ford. All right, joining us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, one Mr. Yeah, there you go. A little rolling. And he is rolling. Another big week. Last week, 4-1 on his picks on the show. I think he's like 4-1 or 3-1 every week on the show the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's ridiculous. Lee Sterling from ParamountSports.com. Lee, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good. That's what it's all about. Rolling. You want to be rolling this time of year.
Lee, I got to tell you, last week in Beat the Big Dog, we do that on Thursday. And Beat the Big Dog, we do 6 games. Yep. I had my first 6-0 week. That was nice. Now, you got to have some fortune, right? I had the hook. I had teams with the late backdoor covers and stuff like that. To go 6-0, you go 4-2, you're making good money. 6-0 happens when you have one of those deals where a team that's laying 10.5, scores late or something like that, and that's kind of what happened in a couple of the games. That's all right. I don't know. Not bad.
Yeah, been there, done that. Yeah. You never have 6 blowouts. Doesn't happen that way. So
no.
When you get them, you just sit back and enjoy and have a nice cognac or a nice scotch or whiskey.
Now, your NFL game of the week hit last week with New England minus 2.5. That was not in Beat the Big Dog, but I did take advantage of that. So that was another big hit. I know your 40 to 45 unit plays hit in college football earlier, and you're going to have another one coming up this week as well.
Yep, college football. We had hit our NFL game of the year last weekend with the Patriots. Have our college football game of the year this weekend. 40 to 50 unit best bets last 12-plus seasons, 54 and 18. We're looking to move the mark to 55 and 18. How does anyone get involved? Just go to the website, ParamountSports.com. We have what's called the Dovember special. It's not November, Dovember. You can get the entire month of November. And remember, there's games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays now with Maction.
Yeah.
Just $2.97, ParamountSports.com.
All right, that's going to be good stuff. Now, let's look at some of these games this week. TCU, minus 9.5 against Texas Tech. TCU's kind of like the little girl with the curl. Everybody's kind of leaving them out right now. Nah, they're not going to be in a playoff. I don't know what will happen if they're 13-0, but they are rolling right now. What do you think about TCU laying that kind of wood against Texas Tech?
So I do think they're going to lose. I just don't think it's going to be this week. Why do I say that? I just can't back Texas Tech. I mean, at home, you get, some decent performances out of Texas Tech. They explode. But last week against Dave Aranda's Baylor defense, their quarterbacks threw 5 interceptions. They were 12 for 38. they are not in rhythm at all right now. TCU is rewarding their backers, entertaining their crowds with those back-to-back rallies from double digits. I just think the TCU quarterback, Cool Hand Luke Max Dugan, he's just going to keep rolling here. I think they're going to lose eventually. Maybe it's to Texas win the Big 12 championship game, but not to this team at home. TCU pulls away late, 45-28.
Remember, the next two for TCU, at Texas, at Baylor. That's problematic. That could be probably at Texas, at Baylor. That's before any kind of a Big 12 championship game. So we'll see what happens with them there. Now, this one, SEC fans are very interested in this game here because this could open up a slot. I do not believe a one-loss Clemson team would survive against a one-loss SEC team if it came to it. And now here's Clemson going to Notre Dame, which has looked like stumble bums all year long, except for last week. They started to get something done last week. Looked pretty decent at Syracuse. Clemson's a 3.5-point favorite on the road in South Bend in a night game. What do you think?
So what has Notre Dame done to get back on track the last 6 games, which they've won 5 of the 6? Play smash mouth. That's what they do best.
Run the ball.
Strong running attack. Run. They rotate 3 running backs. Their backup quarterback, who's a starter now, Drew Pine, throws a lot underneath to future NFL tight end Michael Mayer. But Pine has not been great the last 3 weeks, completing just 36 of 74 passes for 4 touchdowns. That's it in those 3 games here. I just think that the Tigers are more diverse on offense, pack more punch. I think their offensive line's improved. I think their wide receivers are ascending. You get into the red zone, Will Shipley, one of the best, putting it in the end zone. I like Clemson by double digits, 28-17.
Ooh, okay. And that'd be I think this is the last hurdle for Clemson, to be honest with you. I don't know if anybody's got anything for them going down the stretch.
North Carolina
maybe
can score some points. Maybe they give them a contest. Maybe ACC championship game. Maybe.
All right, these next 3 games are the games that we have in our trifecta today, in our Friday trifecta. So listeners are very interested in what your take is on these. Auburn with Cadillac Williams and a bunch of new guys running the offense because basically everybody that ever shook hands with Brian Harsin before he got to Auburn was fired. So Auburn is getting 12.5-13 at Mississippi State. What do you got?
Shouldn't they just pull Ronnie Brown, who's a sideline reporter, put him on the sidelines, put
with
him
Cadillac.
and Cadillac together?
Right.
Yeah,
that would be
Cadillac.
fantastic. Yeah.
That would be fun, but so I almost never back a team with an interim coach, except for the first game. And so I like the matchup here only because Auburn's run defense is horrific. They've given up, I think it's something like 12 touchdowns in the last 4 weeks running the football. Mississippi State's a passer here. I think Auburn shows up for 1 week here. Mississippi State escapes here 27-24.
Another great run by Cadillac Williams.
I'm with you on that. I think that there's a negative energy that's been hanging over this team all season long as they've waited for Brian Harsin to be fired. He is a guy that is not really super player friendly or whatnot. I 100% agree with you. I think this week Auburn will play tough. They'll rally around Cadillac Williams. They feel loosey goosey. They got nothing to lose. I think you're spot on that call. All right, Alabama is laying 13.5 at LSU. What do you think there?
I thought the line was going to come like 8.5.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Alabama's 2-6 against the spread the last 8 road games. I mean, I don't like to go against hot quarterbacks. And Jaden Daniels, last 2 weeks against Florida and Ole Miss, put up 45 points. You watch the second half of that game against Ole Miss, he's in the zone. So if he's playing anywhere close to last week, look out here. You know, we've talked about it many times. The Bama's offensive line, defense, just not quite up to championship levels here in big games here. And I think LSU's going to be able to throw the ball some on Bama's defense here. I think we're going to see an ESPN cliffhanger in Baton Rouge on Saturday night. I think Alabama comes out on top 38-34, but wouldn't shock me if LSU even wins the game outright.
I have a Boston, Midwestern, Louisiana accent.
That's what he takes LSU. I have Alabama winning by 10 late. pulling away and win by 10. But it's, and you said, well, that's a comfortable, they win at 38-28, something like that, 34-24. But they don't cover. You know what I mean? It's it's a lot of points on the road at LSU. But we'll see. All right, and then the one that is just the colossal game. It was supposed to be a 1v2 game. Now it's a 1v3 game. But the one is different than what the one was, which I think is more motivation for Georgia. But I don't know if it's enough or not. 7.5, 8. I've seen some 8.5s now. This line kind of came down, and now it's kind of going back up again. It's weird. But what do you think about Tennessee getting 8 at Georgia?
It really doesn't matter who's 1 or 3. You win, and then you're gonna continue winning. You're going to be in the national championship playoff. Intrigue here is obviously Tennessee offense, best in the country. In fact, against LSU, Alabama, and Kentucky, averaging over 45 points a game. Against a Georgia defense that was ranked number 1 last year, number 4 this year, still very good. I think Georgia's just like that national championship team. You see that syndrome. The next year, they pick and choose their spots. This isn't a 5 or 7 game series. It's one game. I think they have the players, scheme, and coaches to not stop, but maybe slow down and get some stops against this Tennessee offense. And the biggest weakness of the 4 units on the field is Tennessee defense, ranked number 82.
Yeah.
Georgia's offense plays anywhere close to the way they played against Oregon opening weekend. Look out. I think Tennessee's going to crack Georgia 48-34.
Yeah, I'm with you there, too. I think you keep them in the 30s. I think if you keep Tennessee in the 30s, and I can't get the Pitt game out of my mind. I know it was second week, and I know they're better now, and they've continued to get better and so on, but I just keep thinking back about when they went to Pittsburgh and went to overtime at 24. I think it was 24, 27, 20, something like that, into 20. Somehow, some way, Pitt did that. You're telling me Georgia can't do that?
Yep.
That's so I'm with you. I'm with you on all 3 of those picks. All right, how do they get this game of the week? You got a good feel for this Ravens Saints game that is coming up. The Ravens are a 2.5-point favorite in New Orleans for that one, the Monday night game. How do they get it?
Just call 800-400-9741. Again, the number 800-400-9741. We'll give them the game for free. Love to have everyone join me. Don't wait until I get so many calls, Tom, like mid-December. They're like, oh, I'm down a couple $1,000. I want to, watch the bowl games. Can you help me out? Why not build a bankroll before we get to the bowl game so I don't have to bail you out? You're playing with house money, and then we can maybe, work on getting you a down payment for a nice new car, pay for a vacation for the family. 10 out of 12 winning weeks. No one can match our record. We haven't had a losing NFL weekend. You want to get our college football game of the year, November, the entire month of November, $297 or through the Super Bowl. We're not even at the halfway point of the NFL season. You'll get college football, NFL regular season, 36 bowl games, NFL playoffs, and Super Bowl. Just one place, ParamountSports.com.
There you go. Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com. Take advantage of him. He is hot as a pistol now. He's got it figured out here in the middle of the season. All right, Lee, always appreciate you. Now, Lee, we move to the afternoon next week, and I know that you'll find a spot for us where I can get you in here sometime.
We're looking at, like 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock
At 2 o'clock Eastern, straight up would be the same spot in the show, which would be really good. If you can do 2 o'clock Eastern, you're good? Perfect. Okay, good. I got you down.
Yeah, I just kicked out every other show in the Southeast just for you. Okay?
That's it. I mean, that makes sense. I would do that. I mean, that's smart. All right, man. Appreciate you as always. Good stuff. She just forget everybody else. Forget going on in Mobile and Montgomery and Birmingham and Orlando and Jacksonville and Fort Myers. And,
not important.
That's not important. Just be on this show. As long as he's on this show, that's what's important. All right. Grizz, I'm looking at, let's see here. So we're good with Lugs and we're good with Schenker on Monday. I got to get with Ferg. Joey Blackwell will move to Hump Day at 12:25. Moulton is good at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays. I haven't heard back from Merrill yet. Sterling is good, and we're going to find out if Alan Bell is good here in a few minutes. All right, so that's all good. Now, there's a rumor that AB is going to be on the screen with us.
Negative. He just got back to me.
It's a negative rumor. That's
He's not
a bad
around his
rumor.
computer, but he can Zoom on his phone, but we will call him.
No.
We can call. We're going to call him.
We don't need that.
Yeah,
All
we
right,
were going to
so
put him on Zoom, but he doesn't have his computer on him.
Yeah, we were going to have him on side by each with us, but then not maybe next week. Have you asked him yet about 125 going forward?
I have not, but I will call him during the break, so I will be in touch with him.
So when you talk to him, ask him that question and see if he's good. Okay, let's get a break in here. We'll come back. Alan Bell Jr. is next from CBS Sportsline on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Here's Bobby White from Woody Anderson Ford on their service department.
President's Award winner 2 years in a row. That's only given to the top 10% of Ford dealers in customer satisfaction. So we're very proud of the service department. And our body shop. If you happen to get into an accident, which not a lot of people just want to go down and see a body shop, but if you get into an accident, award-winning body shop. We have state-of-the-art paint booths back there. They're waterborne paints that we use, friendly for the environment. We've got our production system, the way things are in and out. We have the fastest cycle rate in town of getting your vehicle in, getting your vehicle out, and assured that it's fixed right. We take pictures before it's wrecked, and not only after, but we take it as we're putting the parts on. All done to above industry standards. So I'm proud of our body shop too. Don't forget our parts department. So if you happen to need parts, performance parts, or just parts if you're a weekend mechanic.
Woody Anderson Ford, located at the corner of Jordan and Sparkman, as well as Hughes Road and Madison. You can also check out the great deals at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-306-8158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-306-8158. That's 800-306-8158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-306-8158. Again, 800-306-8158.
Are you tired of chasing a roofing contractor to show up on time, or even show up at all? I'm Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Our motto at Fleming Roofing is we show up. Our goal at Fleming Roofing is to provide the reliable customer service that you deserve, and we have the resources to meet all of your roofing needs: residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. We are manufacturer certified for roof coatings, single-ply membranes, and asphalt shingles. Whenever you need a roofing professional you can count on, call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We are committed to finding the solution that meets your needs. We don't have quotas or heavy-handed sales tactics. Fleming Roofing, we have expert experience. We show up. Free estimates, residential, commercial, industrial, replacement, or repairs. Check us out at FlemingHSV.com. FlemingHSV.com. When you need a quick response, it's Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Qualis Corporation, headquartered here in Huntsville, is a woman-owned small business providing technical services in the areas of engineering analysis, testing, and support services to both commercial and government customers. For 29 years, Qualis employees have provided award-winning support to complex technical and engineering efforts, helping ensure critical programs, products, and systems are acquired, tested, and fully operational when fielded. Qualis Corporation, proud sponsor of the UAH Chargers. Go Chargers!
Football season is here, and as always, the best place to catch every game is downtown at Humphreys Bar and Grill. Humphreys is celebrating by bringing back their game day football specials: $2.75 Miller Lite, Coors Light, Yingling, and $3.50 Yellow Hammer Gold Pints, $4 Fireball shots. Anytime football is on. And don't forget football trivia every Sunday night at 6. The best place to catch all the games all season long is downtown at Humphreys Bar and Grill.
Saving at the Home Depot means you can do more for less.
like upgrading your kitchen with a top-rated Samsung kitchen suite, a smart range with air fry, a smart cooling system refrigerator, and a dishwasher with advanced quiet cycles. And with free delivery, the savings come to you. Shop in-store, online, or in the Home Depot app. The Home Depot, how doers get more done. U.S. only while supplies last. Valid 1/6 through 1/26/2022. Free delivery on orders of $396 or more.
The kitchen is the heart of any home. It's where the family gathers. It's where kids discover old recipes and make them their own. Just starting out or just now getting started on the dream kitchen you've always wanted?
I'm Chris Haygood, and from all of us here at Bob Wallace Appliance to the home builders and the homeowners of the Huntsville area, a heartfelt thank you for buying local. We're in Huntsville, Florence, and Coleman, and online at bobwallaceappliance.com.
Mark and Henry McDaniel, attorneys at law, are proud alumni of Madison Academy, and Madison Academy is proud of them. They have served our community through their practice, through volunteerism and service on national, state, and local boards. They explain the complexity of critical court rulings on local media. Their successful practice has been built on integrity. Both are veterans of MA Athletics and proud sponsors of Mustang football. McDaniel and McDaniel, attorneys at law. No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by the lawyer.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A fantastic Friday across the Tennessee Valley. Plenty of sunshine, temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 70s. It'll be a fantastic evening for Friday night football. Maybe a slight increase in the cloud cover across the area, but other than that, a fantastic evening. Temperatures hanging out in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Eventually falling into the low 60s through the later part of the overnight and then early into your Saturday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Paul Feinbaum. Listen to me coming up today at 2. Now back to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Everything. So that one works, Chris. So the Feinbaum one works, the liner. Because he says coming up at 2.
Well, yeah, and then
so that'll work.
The Steve one works too, because the
Steve one works.
Yeah, the drive one works because it's just 5 to 7.
I don't think the Chuck one works.
Yeah, it says I'm coming up next.
Yeah, because it says coming up next. So the Chuck has to go.
I think we had a Chuck one from.
No,
I thought
no.
when he originally did his time.
No, because it would have been, we wouldn't do one from before. And then Eli is good. So Eli can remain. Eli, Paul, and the drive are good. Get the Chuck out of there. Make a note. All right. So we have to get the Chuck out of there as we move the show. Monday, the show moves back to its noon to 2 time, which I was at. It's actually the original time of the Thom Abraham Show. The original Thom Abraham Show, WYSL News 1040 in Rochester, New York, when I first got out of coaching and went on the radio. That was the original time, noon to 2. But I was noon to 2 here like 2 years ago. And we moved to 10 to noon to accommodate Chuck Oliver. And then Chuck Oliver moved his show on top of my show. We've been running it recorded, and we didn't think it was a very good idea to run it recorded. We want to be live all day. So I'll go back to lunchtime. Just fine. All right. Joining us now, a guy who I don't know if he moves around like I do, but, he does a tremendous job with CBS Sports Line, and it's Alan Bell Jr. AB, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Big dog, doing fantastic. Let me say this. I don't move around hours-wise like you do, but I do enjoy lunch. So I'll say that, all right? I enjoy lunchtime, so there we go.
Well, it's a lunchtime show now, so, we'll have that opportunity maybe to do some lunchtime shows and out at remotes and things like that, which would be kind of cool. And it is a lunchtime show, so I might have to do a little bit of theme. I got a good idea. I got to write it down. Anyway, I might have to do a good thing. But we moved this show around a lot. My show has been in every single day part of the day, from morning drive to afternoon drive and all the day parts in between, because I always found it was good to keep the show moving, so that people don't get used to it. We don't want them to get too we don't want them to get too comfortable. We don't want them to be too comfortable, you know what I mean? Make it hard to find.
Yeah. No, you operate like Nick Saban and assistant coaches. Like, you know what? We're going to change things up. All right, I need you guys on your toes here,
Yes, I'm like the NFL with the uniforms. You know what I mean? I want anybody to recognize me. I want to wear something else. I want to wear something they can't recognize. So the Eagles get to 8-0 last night, and I love this Eagles team. I love Nick Sirianni. I love Jalen Hurts. I love a lot of the things that they do and how they play. I can't get out of my head the 11-0 start by the Steelers a couple of years ago and how it felt a little bit phony, a little contrived, a little bit schedule, and then they kind of stumbled down the finish and then got whacked in the first round of the playoffs. That was the year the Browns crushed them in the playoff game. I get that a little bit of that feeling with this Eagle team. I can't get my head and heart all in on this Eagle team. It feels like, it's a lot like that Steeler team that opened 11-0. What's your thought?
Yeah, I'm with you, and I think that well, let me say, I think it's the unknown because it's kind of come out of nowhere. You know what? Let me give you a perfect example. They kind of remind me of Tennessee in the sense of all this happened so quickly that you look and you see elements that you love. You're like, damn, they can score some points. It's a really good football team. Then you see other things, and you're like, this might be a schedule thing. You know what I mean? So, I agree with it. We just don't know. And I think last night was a perfect example of, how do we take that? Is that a good, your former coach, it's probably a good thing that they had a first half struggle a little bit against a bad team because you could use that for coaching. However, is that just like the NFL? It's just difficult on the road week after week? Or is there, maybe a blueprint to playing with those boys? I don't know, but I'm with you that, it's good to question it, and we'll learn more, each week as we go.
I think it's difficult to play on the road on a Thursday night. I mean, that's the thing that's bothering me the most is that this Thursday night stuff. These teams, it took. You're talking about an undefeated team playing a 1-6 team, and it took all night for them to finally pull away and get going in that game. So I think that's part of the equation as well. But when I look at them going down the road, they're going to win again next week. They got the Commanders at home. Then they're at the Colts. They get which could be a toss-up. They got the Packers at home. They get the Titans at home as well. They go to the Giants. They go to the Bears. I don't think they'll struggle there. They go to Dallas. That'll be tough. And then they get the Saints. I mean, it feels like they're going to win 14 games and maybe not get out of the first round of the playoffs. That's kind of how it feels,
Yeah. I mean, it's tough. And I mean, look, how to do the playoffs too. I mean, in the NFC for the last 4 or 5 years, I've kind of felt that the 49ers were the best team, year after year, and they'll get to the championship game, just haven't really kind of pushed through. But still, I'm with you, man. There are still questions abound, but and you're not saying this either. What Jalen Hurts has done from year 1 to year 2 is phenomenal. He's done a great job. He's throwing from the pocket. He's not looking to run. I mean, he is a great NFL quarterback right now. Nick Sirianni, as you mentioned, great, just great offensive mind, great head coach. They've got a lot of things working for him too. But yeah, I'm with you, man. It's good to question it. We'll see.
So the Titans, in their 2 losses to open the season, 20.7 points. In their 5 wins now on this 5-game winning streak, and like you said, Raiders, Colts, Commanders, Colts, Texans. Is it schedule? How much of it is schedule? But they only, 24, 24, 21, 19, 17. You want to talk about a team that wins ugly? It's the Titans. Having said that, they're a 5-2 division leader. They're going to to Kansas City, who's also 5-2. We don't see 12.5 in the NFL. That's a college number. Especially two teams that are division leaders. Obviously, there's a lot of question about Ryan Tannehill. Explain the 12.5, and also if you have any kind of a sense as to whether or not Tannehill is going or not, because I would think that would, make some sort of a difference.
Yeah. So first off, I mean, that is a massive amount of points, but it's justified. I mean, you nailed it right there. That's the problem with the Titans team. They can't score, and they couldn't score when everyone was healthy. Right now, you've got Tannehill coming off of injury, and again, I don't know. In regards, I would assume that he's going to play. It's rare that he misses more than 1 game because what we saw from Malik Willis, my God, that, you cannot put him on Sunday Night Football in Kansas City. They wouldn't even allow him to field the football against Houston. But that's the problem with this team, man. They just cannot score. And, last week we saw A.J. Brown in the first half, put up 3 touchdowns. That was more touchdowns combined than all of the Titans wide receivers this season. That's a real stat. I think that 12.5 is justified. The only thing that you have to question about the point spread is how much Kansas State score in the third. Like, how much do they care in the second half? Because they're going to dominate Tennessee front and back.
So you're thinking backdoor cover is the only shot for the Titans. They just can't score enough.
Yeah, and look, and it's going to have to beat Barrett Henry. I mean, there's no one else. I mean, this offense is slow. It doesn't operate down the field. Their offensive line is going to have massive issues. This is a horrible matchup. Like, it's going to look very similar to that Titans-Bills game, to where they just can't keep up. They just cannot play at the same pace. This one could get really, really bad, especially with what Patrick Mahomes was talking about all week, about how they absolutely remember the last 2 years that Tennessee stumped them. Like, they were like, you have our full attention, so look out there.
So they're 5-3 after this game, and then that leaves them with 9 games to go in this goofy 17-game season now that they have. But they get the Broncos at home, then the Packers on the road, Bengals at home, Eagles on the road, Jags at home, Chargers on the road, Houston at home, Dallas at home, and then the Jacksonville Jaguars to finish the season at Jacksonville. It feels a lot like we're steamrolling to a 9-8 type of season. Is that fair? But here's the thing: does 9-8 host a playoff game? Do they win the division at 9-8?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's no one else that's going to win this division. I mean, unless it's Jacksonville, and I think Jacksonville could actually give Tennessee some fits, because you just roll through that schedule. Like, Tennessee does fine in mucking up games and playing, tough old school NFL football games. Like, they generally win those. When you score a lot of points, like, Tennessee can't play that style of game, at least not this year. Like, Derrick Henry can't do everything. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but it likely is going to host one, because, look, the Colts are done. They're toast, and the Titans have already swept them. The Texans are awful, and the Titans, have already got one on them.
Terrible.
Yeah, and Jacksonville's just not going to be able to get enough wins. Yeah.
Yeah, they're 2-6, Jacksonville.
Like, this division's pretty much over. Like, unless Tennessee completely collapses, this division's over, and Tennessee's hosting the playoff game.
Did the Chargers have a fighter's chance to catch Kansas City, or do you expect Kansas City to pull away from them? The Chargers, this enigma over the last several years, they always seem to be overrated. Maybe Justin Herbert's a little bit overrated. I mean, looks like Tarzan plays like Jane sometimes, especially late in games. But they're at 4-3. They go, they're giving Atlanta point. Atlanta's scrappy. Atlanta's got points at home. They're leading that Southern Division of the NFC, and the Chargers are giving them points. Do you think the Chargers could push Kansas City, or do you think Kansas City's going to ease away in the second half?
Nah, they can't really get ease away. They're just too good. The problem for Los Angeles, I mean, you just nailed it. They're inconsistent, man. Like, you just don't know what you're going to get week after week. And, this isn't the greatest Chiefs team in the world, of what we've seen in the last 4 years, but they're pretty good. But they're consistent. Like, you know what you're going to get. And it's just very, very difficult to beat them. So, now I got no faith in the Chargers. Hey, great job by Arthur Smith in Atlanta. I don't know if there's a head coach in the NFL that's doing more with less. I mean, my God, you look at that roster, dude. He's doing a heck of a job there, man. But no, I don't think they can catch Kansas City. The AFC West is done.
That's another division that gets won at 9-8. You know what I mean? I mean, that division, both Southern divisions are going to get won, at 9-8 likely. It could happen that way. The Chargers, it would be nice if they had a home field to play at. You know what I mean? And maybe if they were in San Diego and they had some home games. But, they don't play a home game. I mean, they play 17 road games. That's just the way it is, with those guys. All right, I'll give you another one. Heading into the second half of the season now, which one is real and which one fades more quickly? The 5-3 New York Jets or the 6-2 New York Giants? Which one are we going to see start coming back to the pack?
Ooh, great question. I would have said the Jets. Weirdly enough, I trust the Giants to run the quarterback position with Daniel Jones than I do with Zach Wilson. That loss of Breece Hall for New York was big, and I know they made the trade for Robinson with Jacksonville, but it comes down to the quarterback position, man. And I do not trust Zach Wilson at all. He did make some plays every now and again, but he's frightening, man. Like every time he drops back, you have no clue what's about to happen. And Daniel Jones, not only with Saquon Barkley, but with him and with his arm and with his legs, like he doesn't beat himself, man. Like he turned the corner. Brian Daniels made him believe. I'll take the Giants and the Jets in that one.
And out west, Seattle leads the NFC West. You want to talk about Coach of the Year? I mean, and comeback player of the year, Geno Smith and Pete Carroll, and what that old dude is doing. They're 5-3. The 49ers 4-4 after that incredible game at Christian McCaffrey, and the defending Super Bowl champ LA Rams are just stumbling around at 3-4. In Arizona, with the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL, Kyler Murray, who really doesn't do anything other than look like a video game player out there. It's like pressing the X button or something whenever you're playing a video game with that dude. They're 3-5. Seattle, contender or pretender?
Contender in their division, because you look at it, it's very streaky out there, right? Like Kyle Shanahan owns Sean McVay, but Pete Carroll owns Kyle Shanahan, and the Cardinals just stink. Like, so we can just get rid of them, like they're done. But no, like in their division, because here's the thing, they don't beat themselves, man. Like they run the football, play defense, run the football, play defense. Like you might get some points on them, but they score too. And they don't leave themselves in bad spots because they just generally run the football, man. Look, I don't think that they're serious contenders like a Super Bowl or anything like that, but they'll give San Francisco fits. They'll make it a tight division. San Francisco will win it, but yeah, they won't make it easy on them, man. You got to give credit, man. Like Pete Carroll, like you said, he has done a hell of a job, and he completely fleeced the Broncos on that Russell Wilson trade. Boy, he knew exactly what he had and when to get rid of him. And Denver fell for that hand quickly, man.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. All right, let me ask you this. Now, let's just end it with Tennessee and Georgia. Alan Bell Jr. with us, CBS Sportsline. So Tennessee now getting 7.5, 8 points. That line, it's been fun to watch. That line was like 8.5, 9 earlier in the week. Then the poll comes out, and Tennessee is number one. And it kind of crept down. There was a lot of 7.5 that started showing up. Now all of a sudden it's kind of creeping back up again. And that the sharps usually come in a little bit later on. And so now all of a sudden this line has moved back up around 8. What about Tennessee? This is the one. Look, beating Alabama at home as the upset win, all that kind of stuff. Everything that happened in that game, getting the field goal at the end to win. That's fantastic. But going to Georgia and beating Georgia, that would cement them as the number one team in the country. What do you think about Tennessee going into Georgia?
Oh, it's the most difficult matchup that they're going to have all year. Georgia's that good of a football team. I'll say this. If you're going to bet Georgia, go ahead and do it now because there's going to be money that comes in on Georgia. It's going to go 8.5, 9. By the time we get close to kickoff. So if you're going to bet Georgia, do it now. And I'll say this as a pick, bet Georgia. Just do it. And nothing against Tennessee. They've had a hell of a year, and it doesn't end. If they lose tight to Georgia, they can still get in the college football playoff, and it might actually be easier by not having to be in an SEC championship game, right? Like, that's actually might be a better path for them. Yeah, absolutely. Nick Saban's done it. He's proved it, right?
Yes.
Here's the thing. Yeah. But it's hard to bet against Georgia. I mean, they're bigger, they're fast. I don't know about faster, but they're an NFL team, man. And, I would bet Georgia under 10 for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. At 11-1, it would a 3-point loss or a 4 or 5 point loss, and you play well at Georgia. 11-1 is a better path for Tennessee than having to go to Atlanta and beat Alabama again if it's Alabama that shows up there. Now, if LSU dumps Alabama or if Ole Miss dumps Alabama and somehow it's not Alabama, because then what they have to hope for is that, okay, if Alabama does win these 2 games that are coming up next, and that puts them in the catbird seat in the West and gets somehow to Atlanta at 11-1, and Georgia gets there at 12-0, then you have to really hope for Georgia to beat Alabama so that you could be that second team, because otherwise, if it comes down to 12-1 Alabama, 12-1 Georgia, 11-1 Tennessee. There's no way they're going to take all three, as much as I wish they would. There's no way they'll take all three, and they're going to take Alabama and Georgia before they would, because Georgia would have beaten Tennessee. So they would take it that way, unless somebody gets upset in the Big Ten. There's so many fascinating potential outcomes for all of this, including, let's say, comparing an 11-1 Tennessee team versus a undefeated TCU, which I don't think will happen. I think TCU will get whacked by Texas or Baylor or both. Or an 11-1 Michigan team. Did Michigan look better against Ohio State than Tennessee looked against Georgia? You know what I mean? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
the next 6 weeks are going to be awesome. Yeah, no, you're right,
awesome.
for sure.
Yeah. It's going to be great. All right. Ellen Bell has been our guest. Check them out, CBS Sports Line. Do we have an official opinion yet? AB, do you move with us into the afternoon next week?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, good. All right, I just checking with Grizz. He's been asking everybody, and so next week 125 is when we will have AB. So mark that down, AB. 125 is where we'll be next week, and we'll have a lot of fun with it. I appreciate you as always. Great stuff.
I appreciate you, big dog. Have a good one, man.
All right, man. Thanks. So see, Grizz, everybody, all of our guests canceling all of their other.
That's what I'm talking about. They know it matters.
Yes, canceling everything to be here. Before we go to break, let me just tell you this. The Southeastern Conference is now working. They've put together a security group to talk about the policies dealing with people rushing the field or the court, because they've had a few of those. And now, you see how much attention Tennessee got. And then now everybody wants to do it even more so. You know what I mean? It's a copycat thing. As Brian Kelly said, LSU rushed the field after they beat Ole Miss. They were a favorite over Ole Miss, for God's sakes. Not that Ole Miss isn't good this year, but Ole Miss is, you always beat Ole Miss, right?
I think they got the memo.
Their fans rushed, and Brian Kelly was doing a thing, and he's like, oh, wow. He was doing an interview when it happened. And he's like, oh, wow, didn't expect that. I didn't know we rushed the field for beating Ole Miss. You know what I mean? And the only reason they were doing it was because of it being done, when Tennessee beat Alabama. So according to Greg Sankey, he says current conference policies need to be reviewed and improved with a focus on addressing field and court incursions, which is, rushing the field. That's a Greg Sankey word. Incursions. By spectators after contests. The SEC's working group on event security will focus efforts on reviewing existing policies, developing new strategies, and identifying best practices to enhance crowd management and more effectively address field and court incursions at future SEC athletic events. Providing consistent and appropriate levels of safety and security remains a common goal of SEC member institutions. Our institutions remain current and vigilant in crowd control best practices and continue to work with local law enforcement to develop security protocols at SEC venues, and we need to continue to adapt. How are you going to stop them? How are you going to stop them? Money, they don't care about money. It's not their money. They don't have to pay to go on the field. Oh, it's $1 million fine now.
Start arresting everybody.
You're not going to stop them. Who are you going to arrest? You going to arrest 30,000 kids?
Yes.
You had kick six. You had people coming into the stadium to rush the field that weren't even at the game. I mean, you had people. I was leaving the stadium and they were pouring in from the parking lot and from the arena across the street to rush the field. You're not going to keep them off the field tonight, as the great Rob Bramlett once said. How are you going to keep these people up? Maybe off the court is a little easier because it's a smaller group. How do you keep them off the field? You know how many cops it would take if you were to ring the entire field and security people it would take?
You'd have to have shields and you'd have to have people set up in little phalanxes and everything like that. I mean, there would be you literally could not, even if you had more police officers, more security.
The more security might create a riot.
I'd be the security guy and just let you in.
Yeah. I remember going to Buffalo Bills games in the 90s when, Bills fans would try to, come out on a field and there would be 4 cops and there'd be 300 people and they would beat the living snot out of the 3 or 4 people. And people are like, oh, police brutality. I'm like, you know what? If they don't do that to that guy, then this whole section's liable to turn on those 4 cops. You got 4 cops over here trying to control 300 people. Beat the snot out of somebody. Now, that was a while ago. what are you going to do when they're pouring out and people are helping them down?
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And do you have a gate that doesn't open? You know, some of these stadiums have steps that go right down to the field.
Right.
And then some of them are higher than others. The wall is higher than others. I mean, maybe you got to at certain stadiums you got to build a wall higher than, like, in the first row. You might lose a couple of rows of seats, and you got to make that wall high. Would you jump 10 feet down to get on the field? You know, you jump right now. They're jumping in some places 6-7 feet. Or maybe you just have class like they do at Alabama, and you expect to beat people, and you take pride in the fact that you stay in the stands and you sing Rammer Jammer, Yellowhammer, we just beat the hell out of you, and goodbye, and you leave. I don't know. I don't know how you stop them.
I still think rushing the field is still a really cool thing. I think it was an ample part of sports. But when you do it, when it gets saturated and you do it off of not like a really big win, I think that's where I kind of.
But even if it's a really big win, how is it a cool thing rushing the field?
I mean, how many times have we seen basketball? I mean, when they rush the court, we still kind of like that when Duke loses or North Carolina loses or somebody.
And they pour out onto but it's really dangerous. Have you ever been in one of those scrums?
Yeah,
it's
2019 Auburn. I literally turned around and they were closing the gate to go into the media room. I turned around and I'm like, "Hey, let me in." I recorded as much as I could because it was going to get to the point where.
So you were down by the field when it came out.
Yeah, I was on the corner of the end zone when it happened. I watched as soon as it hit the upright. It was like, oh well, here they come. And I mean, what was it? A couple days ago, was it Korea? They had like a bunch of people get. There was like a big crowd surge.
Fences up. Now
they died from a crowd surge.
Right. In the Premier League now, they've got like fences, chain link fences up around.
Oh, you can't have what happened back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. Chubby Ninja just hit the text window. Did Grizz just break out phalanx on the Big Dog Show? Good job by that guy.
History.
What were you talking about that you said phalanx?
Talking about when you talking about when they get more security guards, more police officers. I was like, they're going to have shields and like set up like a phalanx to even like keep people back. But then eventually the crowd surge is just going to break through the phalanx.
I don't even
you got to hit the center. You got to hit the shields just right,
I'm not endorsing violence against kids. Beat the crap out of somebody and it'll stop. I'm not saying that, though. Don't say I said that. I'll get suspended for 5 games like Kyrie Irving. Being an idiot. All right, let's get a break. We'll come back and wrap it up next. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Thom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
YKTA wants you to join their team. YKTA is currently adding machine maintenance and die maintenance positions to their fast-growing company. YKTA has new improved work schedules with built-in days off. Pay range is $25 to $33 based on experience and additional shift differential. And YKTA has opportunities for increased pay above top range through advanced skills training. Apply today at YKTAL.com/careers. YKTA is an equal opportunity employer.
Ladies and gentlemen, whether you want to believe it or not, the holidays are upon us. It is time to start thinking about the important things like, hey, what's on the menu this year? It is time to pre-order your honey glazed ham or turkey from Apple Lane. Let's get honey glazed for the holidays and make the holidays even sweeter with our award-winning banana pudding.
That's right.
Let us help make this year's holiday just so much easier. Apple Lane, come see us in Decatur, Alabama on the Beltline.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead ran away and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
Listen to Buckhorn High School football all season long.
Landrum down near the goal line, and he's in for the Bucks touchdown.
On 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Alabama Mortgage, they have got the product to help you with your new mortgage and your new purchase. And look, if you're going to go look at a house, make sure you get pre-approved first with North Alabama Mortgage. It doesn't cost you anything to be pre-approved, but this way, when you're out there and you're looking at a new property, they're going to let you look at it. And when you make your offer, it's a much more attractive offer if you're pre-approved, not pre-qualified, but pre-approved for that. And don't forget, refinancing, getting some of that money out of your property, it is a wonderful thing to do as well. And it's easy to do with North Alabama Mortgage. They do a tremendous job. They walk you through the process. It's much simpler than you think. North Alabama Mortgage, Brian Hamaker and his team standing by to help you out at North Alabama Mortgage. Now, Grizz, all of that other stuff goes with us, right? Like Sweet Home and all of that. There's no reason for any of that.
Nothing changes. We just have to switch the playlist editor around. That's
so you can
program
take care
director
of
talk.
That. So everything will happen there.
Yeah.
You'll take care of that.
Yeah,
stuff.
Steve can do it, or I can do it. I mean, one of us can handle it.
Make sure somebody does it.
Oh,
That's
we'll do
the
it.
key,
We'll do it. Yeah. You just
then
change the daily template. That's all.
Yeah, change the daily template. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Change the daily template.
Yep. Smart people
here's
talk.
Here's the best idea I have seen for keeping people off the field. Text window. Make it a league policy that if your fans storm the field, you forfeit the win. Unknown texter with that little bit. Yeah, that'll stop them. That would stop them. You want to come on the field, you forfeit the win. Woo! Goodness gracious almighty. All right, that's going to do it for us. Our last morning show until our next morning show. So on Monday, join us right after the Chuck